Hi, thanks for joining us today. For our live show today, we're gonna show you how to make a winter fruit salad. And you can really change up the fruit in here depending on what's in season where you are. Today, the only thing out of the recipe that I'm gonna do is add a banana to mine. But use what you can find locally at your market. And it'll be even more delicious than what I'm doing because it'll be, what's seasonal in your area. So in today's recipe for winter fruit salad, it's going to have a special ingredient in it, and that is pomegranate seeds. And I'm going to show you how to take the seeds out of a pomegranate. And if you want to refer back to that at some point on the blog post for this recipe, there's a link to a video that my husband Nelson made about how to seed a pomegranate. So you'll be able to refer back to that if you forget how to do it or want to look at it again. So what I'm going to put in my fruit salad today is pear. This is, I think, I'm not sure, an Anjou pear maybe. And make sure the pear is ripe. It should kind of yield to a little bit of pressure. Otherwise, it'll be too astringent, too dry, too hard to bite into. So you want to let your pear ripen for a week or so. And then an apple, some clementines. I already peeled 2 of them. I'm going to put some of this banana, some pomegranate seeds, and then I'm going to use some lemon juice and water to pour over my pear and apple. I'll show you that in just a moment. That way it'll prevent it from turning brown. And then I've got some cinnamon and maple syrup, which are optional ingredients, but it makes it kind of extra special for the holidays. And then I've got some shredded coconut that's unsweetened that gives a nice texture, and it kind of fluffs the whole thing up. It almost makes it into like an ambrosia salad. So I think you're really going to love this. We're going to start out with the apple and the pear. So if you're cooking along with me or prepping along with me, you can start slicing your apple. I like to slice apples like this. This is not how Nelson likes to slice apples, but it works really well for me. Later on, someone can eat the remainder of this core, whatever's around the core. Or you can take the time to slice it off, but do you see how fast and easy that was? And now each one of these I can slice. And you can make chunks, you can make slices. I'm going to make somewhere in between those two. Apples are definitely a lot easier to eat if they're sliced a little bit thinner. This is a pretty big apple. You could use a green apple if you want that color. Of course, it's more sour, but some people really like that sour flavor, the contrast with the other flavors in the salad. So put these in the bowl. And you could just use water to put on the apples to prevent them from browning. But just as an extra measure, I'm going to take a little bit of lemon juice, and you can put the fork in like this if you don't have a juicer. And just kind of squeeze the lemon around the fork, and the juice just comes right out. It's pretty amazing. I'm going to put the rest of my water, so maybe about half and half water and lemon juice, so maybe a half a lemon to about 2 tablespoons of water, and that will make it so it won't be so strong of a lemon flavor on your fruit, but the water and the lemon juice will help to prevent browning the fruit while we prepare the rest of the salad. And if you're going to keep this salad in your fridge for 2 or 3 days, it'll prevent it from going bad too. So you could You could peel the pear and the apple, but I really like the colors that it gives to the salad. And then now you can get some extra fiber as well. I'm going to cut these just a little bit bigger since pears are softer than apples generally. I originally came up with this fruit salad idea a couple of years ago when I went to a friend's house for a New Year's brunch, and she asked me to bring a dessert. And I was looking around to see what I had, and I noticed that I had one of these big juicy red pomegranates. It was already New Year's Eve, or around New Year's Eve, and I hadn't used it yet throughout the entire holiday. And I thought I should really make use of that while it's still good. And so I started thinking of things I could do with it, and I realized that I also had a pear, I had a couple different kinds of apples, I had some coconuts. So I just started throwing things together and realized that I could make a really healthy dessert, which everybody would appreciate on New Year's Day, because maybe they were doing a lot of overindulging over the holidays. And so it was really good. And so I decided to make a blog post out of it. And so another thing I thought would be fun to add to this today was banana. So I'm going to use half of this banana because it's so big. But banana adds a lot of natural sweetness to the salad. And so all of these fruits are optional depending on what you'd like to use and what is in season where you are, what you can get. Like this time of year, I wouldn't necessarily make a berry salad, even though you can get them at the store. The berries are coming from South America or Australia or someplace really far away. And so I try to be conscious of that. Get things from your own hemisphere or your own continent, hopefully. And they'll probably be fresher and riper and more appropriate for the winter season. Probably notice citrus is coming out in full force in the stores. This is a clementine. I recently got another kind of tangerine the other day that was a seedless tangerine. Also, it was called honey tangerine. They were really big and sweeter than these clementines, but I used those up before today. So back to the clementines. You can also use a navel orange, a nice seedless navel orange. Just cut the skin off around the sides and then slice it kind of like we were slicing the apple, so that you don't get any of that core, that pith in the core, and then make it into slices. I think that would be really nice. I think I'll do one more clementine. So I don't know what you're planning to do for the holidays this year. We're kind of just playing it by ear. We're going to be at home. We'll probably be doing some Zoom calls with different friends and family groups. And I just made a holiday ebook. If you're looking for recipes, you can sign up for my newsletter and get the free holiday ebook that has a whole kind of holiday menu, including a dessert. And I think there's like 4 or 5 recipes on there. And if you're already on my newsletter, I'll be sending it out to my subscribers this week, along with some holiday offerings. Like I'm doing cooking classes online, which have been really fun, where you get to cook in your own kitchen. I give you a grocery list, and actually I'm going to do the pomegranate next. Grocery list and equipment list, so you can have everything ready before we start. And then I'll have a setup like this where you can see me from the front, you can see from up above. Sometimes I even have a side camera. And then we just start working together. We can do some knife skills. We can work on a recipe of your choice. And so sometimes I've done Italian menus like risotto. Sometimes I've done like French menus. We've done niçoise salad. Sometimes people want to learn how to make fish, or they want to learn how to make a dessert. So you can choose from, a really wide range of things to do for a private class. And it can either be with a group, like friends and family from different places that want to meet over Zoom, and we can all be making the same thing at the same time, which is really fun. A few times I did roasted vegetable and black bean tacos with guacamole, and everybody finished at the same time, and everyone was eating their tacos, and it was really fun because everyone's in their own homes. They get set up to do the cooking, and it makes it so easy to replicate that another time versus going to a cooking class where everything's provided, and it might feel like, I can't do this at home. You actually do it at home. So anyway, I'll be letting you know about those opportunities this week for holiday gift giving. And you can always just call me or email me too if you have any questions or wondering what I'm offering. But I can send you a gift certificate with a PDF to print out, or I can, mail it if there's enough time. Usually PDF works well for people. Okay, so let's get back to our fruit salad. This is the pomegranate. I'm cutting just through the skin here. I'm not going to cut all the way through because I don't want to damage any of the precious seeds. And Nelson actually taught me how to do this because he watched a bunch of YouTube videos. I think both of us did. There's so many ways of taking the seeds out of a pomegranate, but I'm going to get prepared here just in case I splatter seeds. So I've kind of scored the outside, and we'll see. I might need to go a little bit further into the fruit. Okay. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? So some of the seeds already fell out. We'll work on one of these halves because we don't need the entire thing for this recipe. Yeah, but I thought that, for the holidays, it'd be fun to provide cooking class opportunities for families and friend groups. So I'm kind of just like loosening it up a little bit, and then I'm going to whack it with this surakogi. It's something that you may not have. It's for a Japanese mortar and pestle set, but you can use a wooden spoon if you don't have this one. And if you put your hand right underneath it, it kind of prevents them from jumping too far onto the table. And now there's just a few left in here. We could maybe take those out by hand, but this was pretty easy, I would say. Okay. Hopefully we can get Izzy down here before the show is over. Let's see. So then you want to take these little pith pieces out, which might take even longer than the process of taking out seeds. But the reason why I like this one is the seeds stay nice and whole. I've seen some other methods that I think don't work as well. It's just super easy. Okay. And on the, like I said before, on the full recipe on Cook Love Heal for this, went every which way. We have a little video link on there to how to do that if you forget. Okay, so it looks like this pretty much soaked up all the lemon juice and water. If you wanted to, you could drain it out. I don't know that we really have to, but maybe I'll drain it into here. Okay, just so it's not too lemony, unless you really love that flavor. Okay, and I'll put some pomegranate seeds in here. So I think this would be really great as not only a dessert for like a holiday brunch, but also for breakfast, like on Christmas morning or whatever holidays you're celebrating, New Year's morning. Or just on the weekdays, you know, if you want something quick, you can make this the day before. And then I'm gonna put a little bit of maple syrup. This is optional. If you don't want to put added sweetener, that is fine. But I'm gonna put just a couple teaspoons of maple syrup. It adds that nice holiday taste to it. And then some cinnamon, which I remember I put cinnamon in a fruit salad once with no added sweetener, and I had somebody at a retreat get mad at me because they said I put sugar in the fruit salad, which I hadn't, but they were convinced. And cinnamon just adds a lot of sweetness without any sugar. I've read that it's actually good for people that are diabetic to have cinnamon. So it should be a kind of a no risk. Oh good, Izzy's here. I was hoping you could come and help me with the coconut.
I figured it out. It took me an hour.
Oh, cool.
But hold on, press the line.
Izzy can help me garnish.
Press the line.
Okay, so I'm adding some coconut flakes. Some people are not crazy about coconut. You could leave it out, but look at how much.
Cool.
So Izzy, how about you pour this into here? Say hi to everybody.
Hello.
How's school going today?
Good.
Is Andrew Snap upstairs?
I don't know.
That is really cool, Izzy.
Okay, and then let's garnish this, Izzy, with some more coconut. So why don't you garnish that on the top? Oh, that looks so good.
Jump out the window or something.
And then the remaining pomegranates, and we are just about done. So remember to keep in touch over the holidays. Subscribe to my newsletter, which is cookloveheal.com. There's many places to put your name and email, and we'll send you the free holiday ebook, which has recipes in it. And if not, if you've already subscribed, don't worry, I will send that out to my newsletter this week. So hope you have a really nice week. I hope you have some sunny weather, and we'll be here next week with another fun holiday treat.